All right, good afternoon, everyone. We'll go ahead and get started. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Judge Regina Mincy, and we're going to begin our State Court of Fulton County Expedited Accusations calendar. This is a calendar for cases in which individuals have been recently arrested and charged with certain misdemeanor offenses. Soon after their arrest, the Fulton County Solicitor General's Office has already accused the cases of the offenses brought against them, and the cases have been bound over to the Fulton County State Court. Nevertheless, this will usually be the defendant's initial appearance before a state court judge, and we are able to address such matters as a possible plea offer, bond, possible arraignment, and if a plea offer has been made at this point. We're going to have the SAP reset date, which is, Ms. Holly?
January the 2nd, 2024.
January the 2nd, 2024 is an SAP reset date. I want to begin by reminding the defendants on this calendar that you have certain constitutional rights. First being that you have right to remain silent. Anything that you say about the facts or the circumstances of your cases can and will be held against you. The state is here and they're listening. So listen to your attorneys. Also, as you know, you do have a right to counsel. You should know who your attorneys are at this point and listen to them. I also want to remind everyone that this whole entire proceeding is being recorded and live streamed on YouTube, so govern yourselves accordingly. All right, who do we have first, deputies?
This is going to be number 5. Good afternoon, Judge Mincy.
Good afternoon.
We're starting with number 5, Ms. Esteves.
Okay. And that's 23 CR 008143D. And that's Alexia, is it Estevez? Charged with 1 count of battery family violence. Pretrial?
First arrest, jail with the recommendation.
All right. State?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Yes. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 2383 Bigwood Trail in South Fulton, Georgia. They spoke to the victim, Mr. Colin Flequa. I would spell that Fequa. He advised that he and the defendant were at home that morning where they were engaged in a verbal disagreement that turned physical. The defendant began to punch him several times and pushed him repeatedly. The defendant then proceeded to pull one of his dreadlocks out of his head, causing a great deal of pain. At that time, the victim did reach out to law enforcement for assistance. The state is seeking a $2,000, just a signature bond through pretrial services. No further contact with Colin Fequa, Fequa. Stay away from the incident location. A 2-day anger awareness. No weapon, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
All right. And is this Ms. McLeod's case?
No, this is Keith
No.
Cook.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
sorry, Mr. Cook. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 5'1", 144 pounds. The complainant is 6'5", 240. Now, we certainly want a signature bond. I would hope to get it through the jail. And also, I think the 2-day anger awareness is overreach. We don't have any problem with no contact in DAW.
All right. Does your client work or anything, Mr. Cook?
Let me look. Yeah, she works at Covenant House, which helps homeless folks from 18 to into the early 20s find a shelter. And she's been doing that for about 3 years.
All right.
Getting her master's in social work.
And as far as that location, both parties live there. Is that correct? Are both parties on the?
That's
Police
my
are-
understanding, Your Honor.
That's yours too?
And we have reached out to the victim. We haven't made contact. And just for the record, just because you're of a certain height or a certain weight does not mean you can't be a victim of domestic violence. So I'm not sure how that pertains to anything, but
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
I said just because you're a certain height or weight or age does not mean you can't be a
No,
victim
no,
of domestic violence.
I get that, but to think it was a continual pattern, then height and I know you're shaking your head. I get that too, but if I'm 6'5", and you're not going to come at me, but for maybe 2 seconds, so I'm just saying I understand without
I'll keep that in
deciding
mind,
that that's
Mr. Cook.
possible. I understand without deciding that's possible, but I'm just saying
Okay.
she's no big threat to anybody. So I'm just trying to work on the bond here.
Okay. Well, the
I don't
officer
know.
did
I don't know
observe the
what.
bruise to
I
the
don't know
victim's
what
face
his.
and the missing patch of the victim's hair.
Well, they have a child together, and I don't know if I think his name was Fuqua. I don't know what his because I was not able to reach him. What his position is on future contact, but they do have a child together. So, and I think ultimately Miss Estevez wants to split and leave the current residence, but I would like her to at least get a, a, a trip with police officers to collect her belongings and her child. Now,
there's no objection to that,
I
Your
know
Honor.
that's more of a civil issue, but yeah,
There's
yeah.
no objection to that, Mr. Cook. No objection.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right, I am going to grant a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. I'm going to, with that signature bond, I'm going to order a stay away from the incident location for that residence. I will allow a one-time police escort back to that residence to retrieve her personal belongings as well as her child. I will order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I think that's all I'll order at this time. We'll
Thank
see
you, Your
where the
Honor.
case goes afterwards.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Number 1, Allen.
Right. This is 23 CR 008139C Ramsey Allen, charged with 1 count of battery family violence. Pretrial.
Fourth arrest, 2020 violation of oath, crossing state county guard lines out of Bucks County, on probation for that 2018 reckless conduct, first offender. That's it.
Yes,
All
Sean.
right.
In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 3685 Leisure Lane in South Fulton, where they spoke to the victim, Miss Nicole Hernandez. She advised that her and the defendant, who is her ex-boyfriend, were engaged in a verbal disagreement pertaining to a recent breakup that they had just went through. During this disagreement, the defendant did become physical. In reading the warrant, it looks like he pushed the back of her head and he put his hand around her neck, choking her and slamming her into a wall. And then he pushed her once again into another wall. Law enforcement was called for assistance. The state did not or was not able to make contact with the victim. So we are asking for a $2,500 surety, no contact with the victim since we haven't had contact, a stay away from the incident location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
All right. Cook.
Yes, Your
Oh,
Honor.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead, PD. Is it a tie?
Yes, a tie.
A tie.
Your Honor, my client is 46 years old. He is a Navy veteran. He's a father of 7 children, including 4 minor children. He is a union iron worker and works to support those children. Although he is gainfully employed, he qualifies for public defender services. He's lived in Georgia for 30 years and is not a flight risk. He denies the allegations in the warrant. The incident allegedly occurred in May of this year. He states that since then he has been on good terms with the complaining witness. However, we also have not been able to make contact with her. We have no objection to a stay away and no further contact. And they don't share children together. I would like to state that he was arrested on December 16th for an expired registration, and he has been in custody for 5 days and is at risk of losing his job. He has no violent history. He's recommended for a UJR level 3, but we're requesting a signature on bond through the jail or signature on bond pretrial level 1 so that he can return to his job. and supporting his family. After 5 days in custody, he is worried that he would lose his job and he cannot afford a bond. So I would ask for a signature on bond.
All right. I'm going to order a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial. I will make it level 1. I will also order a 1-day anger awareness course. I'm going to order a stay away from the incident location. No further contact with the victim. Is it Nicole Hernandez?
Yes, Your
Yep.
Honor.
No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I believe that's it. I don't know if a one-time police escort is needed or not.
No, it's not.
Okay. All right, then that'll be it.
You said 3,000 or was it
Yeah.
2,000, Judge?
3,000.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Number 9, Mr. Lowe.
This is 23 CR 008147G. Sinquay Low, charge of 1 count of criminal trespass. Second count, possession of a pistol or revolver by a person under 18. Third count, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Fourth count, reckless conduct. Pretrial.
I'm gonna defer to the state.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm showing that he has a juvenile history, theft by receiving possession of a firearm during the commission
I
of a.
object to the juvenile record.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand you. What was the objection?
Objection for to disclose juvenile cases.
Okay, do you have any case law saying that it can't be? Because it absolutely is relevant and it can be.
Yeah, we can hear the juvenile history.
Okay, so I'm sorry, Your Honor. Let me go back to my notes. Theft by receiving possession of a firearm during a commission of a felony, possession of tools during the commission of a crime. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 2909 Campbellton Road, where it was reported that a male was armed running through the parking lot and making contact with the defendant that spotted him running through a parking lot with a rifle.
Mr. Walker? Mr. Walker, can't hear you anymore.
Can you hear me?
Start back at rifle. That's where you start.
You can't hear me?
Now I can.
Okay. It was okay. It
Yes.
was reported that a male was running through the parking lot with a rifle, and when they made contact with the male, they tried to detain him, if you will, but he did not stop. He gave flight. He ran through the apartment complex, discarding the rifle. He ran into a open apartment where he opened the door and sat down on the couch. He was asked to leave. He refused to leave. In his conversation with the homeowner, he eventually was detained. The state is asking for a $10,000 charge on the possession of a firearm under the person under the age of 18, $1,000 surety bond on obstruction, and $1,000 surety bond on the reckless conduct. Of course, we are asking for no weapons, drugs, or alcohol, a stay away from the incident location, 2909 Campbellton Road, and no contact with the victim. His first name is spelled Ndiaye. Last name is Dame.
Last name is James.
Dame, Dame.
Oh, Dames. Okay. All right. PD?
Yes, Your Honor. I don't think the victim is here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and represent my client. Mr. Lowe is only 17 years old, and Your Honor, this is his first adult arrest, and I called his mother and I was able to speak to her, and she is currently in Florida, but she's gonna come and you take Mr. Lowe with her. And she is right, I mean, he is right now living with a great grandmother, Catherine Truitt, and she is 72 years old, and she's willing to be a co-signer if he can get signature on bond. I was hoping that she would be coming to the Zoom hearing, but I think she's having a hard time with technology. She is willing to be a co-signer. And actually he's kind of going back to school, Hank Aaron High School. It's like a technical school that he wants to continue and finish up, Your Honor, because he's at 10th grade. I think he should be back to the school. We would like to request for signature on bond with co-signer. That's it. We have no objection to stay away and no further contact. Oh, the Catherine Truitt with the C is here, Your Honor.
Okay, where is she?
I see on the screen in my gallery, I see on the right side on top, but Catherine is first name, last name is Truitt.
Okay, Miss Truitt? Yes, can you unmute yourself? Still can't hear you. Still can't hear you, Miss Truitt. You're gonna have to learn how to unmute yourself or else we'll move on. I can't hear you. You didn't sign on with audio. Sometimes that's why. And tell me, PD Kim, Miss Truitt is the mother or the grandmother?
Grandmother, Your Honor, actually great-grandmother.
Great grandmother. Okay.
Yes. They live together, Your Honor, right now.
And that's my concern. If he's already resigned with his great grandmother and he's running through a parking lot at the age of 17 with a rifle, he already has an open juvenile case for possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. I mean, that's not him going back to his great grandmother. It's not anything new. He's already been residing with her. And it's clearly him and guns have been an ongoing issue since last year, which means this started at the age of 16. Since he's now 17, so that's the state's concern, and it's the basis for the surety bond. I understand that the mother is out of state and she's trying to make efforts to come back, but we're already here. So there is some grave concern for safety of the community in Fulton County at large with this juvenile out on the streets with guns and rifles, if you will.
And PD Kim, is he enrolled in school or not?
He is not enrolled in school, but he can be going back to school. He can return.
Yeah, I wonder. And is Hank Aaron High School?
Yes, technical high school.
No.
He also has 3 brothers and 1 sister here in Georgia. Yeah.
All right, I'd usually, depending if the minor person doesn't have or minor defendant doesn't have history, his history concerns me, as well as the allegations in this case. So I'm going to order an $8,000 surety bond. That's 1,000 on the first charge, 5,000 on the second, and 1,000 on the other 3. The gun charge will carry the 5, and the others will be 1,000. So that's a total of $8,000 surety bond. I'm going to order that if Mr. Lowe makes bond and has a cosigner, however that goes, is that he have a curfew, and his curfew will be from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. That he should be in the house. He should also enroll in school or either GED program. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. If he has a gun or a rifle, he needs to turn over possession of those immediately to the sheriff's department, since he's alleged to be running with one. And no further contact with the victim, Mr. Dames, and to stay away from that area of 2909 Campbellton Road. I'm not for sure if that's the address of the apartment complex.
It is, Your Honor. And
is it-
I'm sorry, I have a name of the apartment complex. It is The Hills at Greenbrier.
Okay. All right, the Hills at Greenbrier. I'm assuming that's not where he lives.
And that I can't speak to.
PD Kim, does he live in that complex or not?
I do not know whether 2595 Batch Road is in that apartment complex or not, but iPhone 2 put the chat saying that she is his aunt and she can help grandmother to speak on the phone. Maybe she could verify whether that is the apartment or not. Miss Truitt, can you hear me? Would you please?
Doesn't matter whether she can hear you, we can't hear her. And I would
Right.
have to
No,
be
she
able to
cannot.
hear her.
Yes or no about the apartment? Is it the same apartment complex that you are in? Okay.
Okay, and so this is his aunt. I don't know that I need to hear from them. If he's not in school, I'm gonna make him be in earlier with his curfew, since he's not going to school. And maybe if he were in school, he'd be in earlier to do his homework. So let me move up the curfew to 9 p.m. So 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. since I just realized he's not in school. Even if he were in school, 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. is Holly. And they can figure out how they want to try to get him a bond or who can co-sign. I'm not going to sort through that today. Take up my time with that. Also, I'm going to add to this, and I know that this will come up later. I don't know at this point if it's wise to take him out of state back to Florida. He needs to stay in Georgia while he's got these open cases. I don't know that he can do that anyway. All right, and so that should be it for now. To stay away from the Hills at Greenbrier Apartments complex. And I guess that'll be it for now. Anything else, State? I think you froze on me, Mr. Walker. Is he frozen?
It appears he is.
You may have to sign out and come back in, Mr. Walker. All right, that's it. Your deputies at the jail.
Number 10, Lloyd.
Okay, I see he dropped off, so he must have gotten our message. Miss Thornton, you told him that he froze?
I'm texting Mr. Walker right now.
Okay, good. Thank you.
He's trying to log back on.
Okay. Thank you. He's by himself, isn't he, today?
I think he is.
I don't see another ASG.
Mhm. Who did they say this is in the chair?
10 Lloyd, I believe.
Okay.
Here he comes.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, can you hear me?
Now we can. I
Okay.
noticed your eyes were moving. I said, wait a minute, he's frozen. So,
Yeah, I'm having some
and
internet problems today. I'm sorry.
oh, it's okay. And you're by yourself, right? Because I looked and I said,
It's,
wait a minute.
it's
I
just
don't,
me.
just you. I got it. All right. Let me say the last thing. Did you hear our ruling?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. On position 9, which is Sinquay Low, I
Okay.
ordered that. I don't know if you heard $8,000 surety bond.
Yes, I heard that part, Your Honor.
Okay. But I did change his curfew from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Okay.
And he needs to enroll in high school or in a GED program. Stay away from the hills at Greenbrier apartment complex. No further contact with the victim. If he has any other guns or rifles in his possession, he needs to turn them into the sheriff's department immediately. And of course, no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And no further contact with the victim.
Understood.
Okay. And then Ms. Truitt, you can sign off now. We're finished with your nephew's case. All right, this is position 1023 CR 008148F, Daryl Lloyd, charged with 1 count of battery family violence. Pre-trial.
8th arrest, 2021 simple battery family violence. We got an open DUI out of East Point. That's it.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 1004 Violet Street, where they spoke to the victim, Ms. Chandrika Glass. She advised that her and the defendant were in a relationship. He locked her out of the home that they were living in, and a verbal disagreement ensued. He did punch her in the mouth, causing a busted lip. The officer did observe that and a bruise. In this case, the state is asking for a $1,500 surety bond, no contact with the victim. Check the stay away. Stay away from the incident location. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond.
Okay. And let's see, this is Mr. Cook.
It's
PD
my
Cook.
case, Your Honor. Good
Oh.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms. McLeod.
Your Honor, we would certainly object to the stay away. This is my client's home. His name is the only one on the lease, and he tells me that the alleged victim does not live with him. In fact, the warrant indicates that she said she had a few things there and she wanted to get her things, and with the aid of the officer, she got her belongings. She took her cell phone and a charger and some other items. It actually says that in the warrant. My client tells me she does not live there at all. So we would definitely be opposed to someone staying away from their home just because someone else came there for a visit. I don't think that is how the law was intended to work. My client is 62 years old. He tells me that he is currently employed with the city of Atlanta. He denies the allegations very strongly, Your Honor, and said he is someone that he knows from the neighborhood and he was just trying to help her out because it was very cold. So she came over, but she doesn't really have any belongings at his home. I would ask the court to give my client a signature bond so he can get out of jail. He's perfectly okay with no further contact with the alleged victim. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I just have to check the warrant one more time because I know counsel has characterized it that she was just staying or she was just there for a visit. But I believe, and I'm checking this now, I believe in the warrant said that she has resided there for over a year.
He denies that strongly.
Okay, well, that's what he denies. I'm talking about what's in the warrant. So what you just said was that she was there for a visit. I'm talking about what's in the warrant. So that's two different things. So what
I
you
know, but it did say in the warrant that she got her things with the help
right,
of
but
the
it also
officer.
said that she's there for a year and she was trying to get her things, but she was busted in the mouth. So how about we just say phrase it like this: so long as she is residing there, he's not able to come back. But I just want to make it clear that she wasn't there just for a visit, and she had resided at this location for over a year, which we all know as attorneys that makes you a tenant at will, not just a common house guest.
All right. And your client, I did not hear, did you tell me whether or not Mr. Lord is working?
He works for the city of Atlanta, Your Honor.
I'm sorry.
He works for the city of Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Okay. Um, I'm going to order the $1,500 surety bond. He has is that 2021 case still open? Simple battery family violence 2021.
Let me check here.
Okay.
No, it's closed. It's simple battery. Yeah, no, that's closed, Your Honor.
Okay.
You said 15 good?
15 good. I'm going to order a no further contact with the victim, Chandrika Glass. I'm torn a little bit on this stay away from the incident location, this 1004 Violet Street. And Ms. McLeod is stating that it is the defendant's home.
It is, Your Honor.
That's what she stated, but if you review the warrant, it states that the victim has resided there for over a year. So at the point that somebody has stayed with you for a year, that's also her legal residence. And I
Just
understand that she was in the
says
process
that
of moving
doesn't
out,
mean
but at
that
the end
it's
of
a
the
fact.
warrant, it says the rest of her belongings were still inside of the home.
All right. Well, since we have that in the warrant, I would like to order the stay away. If we can get some other information that she has moved out and they can apply to modify the bond for him to go back there. I just don't want to have Mr. Lloyd show up and then there has to be a determination as to whether her belongings are still there and she lives there. So I'm just going to order him to stay away for now.
Your Honor, may I ask the
okay.
court to modify that to him having a law enforcement escort with him to go back to see if she's still there? And the reason why I'm asking for this is that the weather is very, very cold. He doesn't have anywhere else to live. And also, I will be on vacation, so I'm not going to be around necessarily to file a modification bond for him.
Well, the one thing that strikes me a little bit is that he does work and has a decent job. So I'm going to assume, and sounds like with where he's working for the government, he would have money to be able to get a temporary place to stay until we can sort it out first of the year. And make sure that we give her enough time, since it is cold, for her to get all of her belongings out safely and move. So I'll leave it to a stay away. He's got good employment, should have it anyway, to be able to find somewhere to live temporarily. And then we can readdress it first of the year, give her enough time to move out if that's what she's doing as well. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Number 7, Johnson. All right, you too, thanks.
This is 23 CR 008145J, Brandon Johnson, charged with 1 count of battery family violence, pretrial.
Third arrest, last was 2015. It was a CWAC charge, says indicted.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 150 Walker Street, where law enforcement was dispatched due to a fight call. Two witnesses told law enforcement that they observed the defendant attacking the victim, Miss Monet Lockett, who was his girlfriend, inside of a vehicle at the location. The officer did observe visible injuries to her head. She said that she was slammed into the vehicle's dashboard multiple times, and that also her 2 minor sons were in the vehicle during the altercation. The state is asking for a $1,500 surety bond to the 1 count for battery family violence. No contact with the victim. I'm not sure of the importance of a stay away because I think it's a public address, but we still would ask for a stay away from 150 Walker Street. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond. Of course, we would sound for the victim, Miss Monet Lockett.
All right, Ms. Monet Lockett, are you on the Zoom call? Monet Lockett.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
All right, do you wish to address the court, Ms. Lockett?
You talking about my camera? 1 second.
No, I'm asking, do you wish to address the court briefly today?
Yes, ma'am, that's fine.
All right, raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, are you in fear of Mr. Johnson?
No, ma'am.
And do you want to have any further contact with Mr. Brandon Johnson?
No violent contact.
Okay. All right. Do you all have any children together?
No, ma'am, we don't.
All right. And so this 150 Walker Street is not where you reside, correct?
No, ma'am.
All right. Do you all live together?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I don't have any further questions, any cross-examination. All right. State, you may proceed. I'm sorry. I didn't mean state. Right. I meant defense. Mr. Cook, PD Cook.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sorry about that.
I spoke to Miss Lockett earlier in the day. She would prefer, she doesn't want a no contact. She would prefer, as she said, a no violent contact. There's no problem with them staying away from this location. I think it was a Airbnb, but he would like contact, and I think she would like no violent contact. He's fine with that. He's fine with staying away from the location. I don't think it's a place where they go often anyway. So that's what we would be looking for, and we would request a SOB bond, maybe level 2.
Okay. And Mr. Walker, does he still have an open case or no?
I believe, let me check. I believe those other open cases, I don't think they were in Fulton. I think they were in another jurisdiction.
Oh, where were they?
Monroe?
Monroe, Georgia.
Oh, Monroe. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Howard.
I didn't see those on the. I may have missed them, but I didn't see them on the pretrial evaluation. But
It's on the GCIC.
so I'll yield to Mr. Walker on that. But we would still be asking for a no violent contact signature bond.
Okay, I think pretrial said they're on his GCIC.
Yes, well, we don't get those, so that's fine.
All right, I'm going to order the $1,500 surety bond. With that surety bond, I'm going to order a stay away from the incident location. And I'm going to order, let's see, this just happened, so there hasn't been any cooling down period at all. I'm a little concerned about that. So I'm going to order no further contact right now to make sure of the cooling down period. And I'm going to order that the defendant stay within 200 yards of the victim and no contact by third parties or anyone else while on bond. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And that should be at $1,500 surety bond.
Your Honor, are you just going, the cooling off period's not really well defined. Is that just something that should be taken up in a bond modification down the road, or is that for X number of days, or what would you suggest?
No, he can do a modification down the road. Just want to make sure that she's going to be safe. The allegations are serious to me.
Okay.
And it's not even been 24 hours, it doesn't look like, since it happened. Just want to make sure the victim is going to be safe. I don't like to put them right back together in less than that time, something reasonable to make sure that they're ready to live together again. But right now, I would order that they don't.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mhm.
Number 8, Lee.
This is 23 CR 008146G. Darrell Lee, charged at 1 count of battery family violence. Retrial.
2021 possession of marijuana. That's all I got.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 7361. I'll spell the street JENNADEE Road, where they spoke to the victim's Alja Phillips, who advised that she was in a disagreement with her ex-boyfriend at that location. That turned physical. The defendant did punch her in the face with a closed fist multiple times, and this is not the first time that he has placed his hands on her. The state is asking for a $1,500 surety bond. No contact with the victim. 1 second, let me check the stay away provision. We are not asking for a stay away because it's my understanding that it's his mother's home, but we are asking for no contact with the victim. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And of course, we would sound for the victim, Miss Phillips.
All right, is Audra Phillips on the line?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Do you wish to address the court?
Yes, ma'am.
If you do, you need, okay, I was gonna say, turn on your video. Let me swear you in first.
Okay.
Raise your right hand. You affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you put your hand down. Are you in fear of Mr. Darrell Lee?
No, not at all.
And do you want to have contact with Mr. Lee?
Yes.
All right, and so this.
No violent contact.
Okay, and so this address, 7361, is it Genevieve Road? You all do not.
Genevieve.
Okay, who lives there?
That's his mother's home.
Okay, but the two of you do not reside there.
No, we do not.
Do you all reside together?
Yes, we do.
You have any children together?
No, ma'am.
All right, any cross-examination?
Now from the state, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Your Honor, I would ask the court for signature bond for my client. He has no criminal history of note, Your Honor. I believe I heard something about a possession of marijuana, and I don't believe that was a conviction, or I may not have heard correctly. But anyway, he doesn't have any significant criminal history. Therefore, I would request a signature bond for him, preferably through the jail. And also, Your Honor, this incident apparently happened approximately a month ago, based on what the warrant says.
Okay.
Just briefly, Your Honor, maybe I should listen closer to pre-trial, but in my notes, I have a 2012 conviction of battery and a 2015 conviction of simple battery family violence. So, and that's just the violent offenses. There's several arrests and other convictions, but
Well,
I
that's
am showing those 2012 and 2015 convictions of battery and simple battery.
I would still ask for a signature bond, Your Honor, given
Oh,
what
I was just correcting the record because you said he had no history.
Yeah, I think he said no history in 2021 marijuana.
That's all I heard, so I'm going on what
Okay,
I
that's why I said I need to listen better because I reviewed the GCIC also. He has a 2012 conviction of battery and a 2015 conviction of simple battery family violence.
All right. This incident was November 28th.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to order a $2,000 signature bond. I'm going to order that signature bond through the jail. I'm going to order that there be no further violent contact with the victim, Miss Audra Phillips. Is it Audra or Elijah?
It's Alea, but it's okay.
Oh, Alea. Okay. Not okay. And you spell it the way you have it on the screen, Alaja?
Yes, ma'am. The J is pronounced as a Y.
As a Y. Okay. Sorry about that.
Okay.
No further contact with the victim. I'm sorry, no further violent contact with the victim. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And that should be all at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Uh-huh.
So I'm able to log off now.
Oh, yes, you are. I've just given my ruling. So
Thank you so much, Judge Mincy.
all right.
Have a great day.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, Diaz.
This is 23 CR 008142F. Noel Diaz, charged with 1 count of simple assault, 2nd count of terroristic threats and acts.
This is 10th arrest. You got a 2018 battery that was dismissed, 2018 FTA. Everything else was driving. That's it.
All right, state.
And then, Your Honor, he also had he was on our calendar yesterday. I believe it was for a criminal trespass and another simple assault, pertaining to the same victim. Essentially, what this concerns is, the defendant's girlfriend came to a Dunkin' Donuts. She had some type of disagreement with the employee, Mr. Kevin Willingham. She told the employee, Mr. Willingham, "Don't worry about it. I'll have my," and I'm paraphrasing, but I'm gonna have my boyfriend come back and handle you. Ever since then, they have been coming to Dunkin' Donuts. They have been harassing him. They slashed his tires. They caused scenes at the Dunkin' Donuts, and I think it went as far as the victim, Mr. Willingham, who's an employee for Dunkin' Donuts, being assaulted by the defendant. I want to say 1 or 2 of his cases were addressed yesterday. When the jail went to release him, they found these additional warrants. So for these particular case or these charges that's before the court today, the state is just asking for a signature bond through pretrial services. We are asking for a stay away from all Dunkin' Donuts within Fulton County because it's my understanding that these incidents that have occurred at more than one location. It's my understanding that Dunkin' Donuts try to move the victim for safety reasons to another location at one of their businesses, and that didn't work because the defendant came to that location as well. So I said that to say we're asking for a signature bond through pretrial services, no contact with the victim / employee Kevin Willingham, stay away from all Dunkin' Donuts within Fulton County, a 2-day anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
All right.
The victim's not here today, but he was here yesterday, and he was seriously concerned for his well-being as this has occurred on his job and at multiple locations at Dunkin' Donuts.
All right. The victim, Noel Diaz, making sure he's not on.
No, that's the defendant. The victim's name is
I'm
Kevin.
sorry, the victim. Yeah, I'm sorry, Kevin Willingham.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Willingham's not on. All right, PD Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 34 years old. This was already addressed, and it should have been brought up yesterday. My client, even after paying the bond, he had to stay extra day because it was not addressed yesterday. I simply asked for a signature on bond jail. He is gainfully employed at Amazon, and he completed his GED. He also worked at Taco Mac as a cook for about 5 years. He's been here in Georgia for 6 years. He's not a flight risk. He has a strong community ties. So because his child is also here too, we would like to request for signature on bond through jail. So that way he can get out of the jail.
And Your Honor, just to be clear, the cases that were heard yesterday were several, although the same victim and same incident location, it was different incident dates. And
No,
all-
it was not. There's no same incident date, June
No, it was
22.
it was different incident dates. And what I was
No,
trying to say is he has an open felony case for obstruction and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. That's 23 CP 224236. And what he was heard on yesterday was stalking and criminal trespass.
and that was June 22nd, 2023. And today's case is exactly same thing, same date, Your Honor. I reviewed the warrants. They are just basically copying the same warrant into 4 different charges.
Whoever's on Samsung, you need to mute yourself. I'm listening to you cough.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
The cases from yesterday are from October, Your Honor.
So October and June.
Correct. And he has an open felony case for, did I just say, what did I say? Possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, obstruction, and felony obstruction. That
Does he have
received
bonds in
He's
those?
presumed he got the
received this.
bond.
I understand. I'm just giving the complete.
He's on bond?
Yes, pretrial services.
Oh, so he's already on pretrial bond.
That's well, hold on. It says unsecured judicial release. Let me see if it's through the jail or pretrial. Because it just says UJR.
I thought she said he bonded up.
I'm talking about his felony case.
Oh, yes.
It says $10,000 split bond. I'm opening up the actual order now, so I'll be able to tell you.
Okay.
So no, it's not. I take that back. It's a split bond. It was $10,000 surety / UJR through the jail. So he's not on a pretrial services bond. It was through the jail for the felony matter.
The allegations concern me a whole lot. I want this victim, Mr. Willingham, to be safe and to be able to go to work.
Right. This has occurred. There's several incidents that occurred over a period of about 3 months.
So my client is willing to stay away from all Dunkin' Donuts and no further contact whatsoever, Your Honor.
Well, he didn't do that before. I guess now maybe he's finally gotten the message after several misdemeanor cases and a felony case. You know,
Now, I will say the felony case is separate, so I don't want to get that
I know it
impression
is.
separate. But
and
it's
I
still
think
concerning because it's possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. And this case involves basically his girlfriend saying, "Don't worry about it. My boyfriend will be back to handle you." And he did, in fact, come back.
I'm going to
Your Honor, it was actually my client's wife who was harassed, attacked first, and they were basically protecting. As a customer, they deserve to be treated better. So I really don't think he should be getting punished again for the same incident, Your Honor.
I don't know about him protecting his wife. They came back in multiple cars on different days to multiple locations. And the victim had to be moved to another location, and they even followed him to that new Dunkin' Donuts location. So I'm not sure how far self-defense would go as a viable argument.
Yeah, I'm not sure, PD Kim. I just want to make sure that this is over and that this victim will be safe and can go to work and not suffer any hurt, harm, or danger. I'm going to order $2,500 surety bond. And with that surety bond, I'm going to order to stay away from all Dunkin' Donuts locations in Fulton County. I'm going to order no further contact with the victim, Kevin Willingham. Stay away 200 feet, 2 football fields away, no contact by third parties or any other persons. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. If he has any guns in his possession, he needs to turn them over to the sheriff's department immediately.
Your Honor, break that bond down, please. He has two.
Oh, I see. Let me have, what, 1,500 on the terroristic threats and then 1,000 on the simple assault?
Okay.
Mhm. All right. PD Kim, your client has a question.
Mr. Noel, please do not say anything about the facts of the case. The judge has already ruled, and if you have any question, please give me a call. I'll explain to you.
Okay. So I basically was already given a bond for these two new charges. When my wife went to post my bond yesterday, it was showing 7 charges instead of the 5 I originally had. And it was
Okay, please, the jail officers can explain to you. So I think that's something we don't address here.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't believe you were already
Yeah,
given a
that-
bond for these 2 charges on this date. I think
Well-
there's multiple charges on different dates.
Well, I'm sorry, what it was showing yesterday on the bail bond was that the 6th and 7th charge was for $5,000 bond, and which was paid by my wife, and the bail bondsman sent over the confirmation for all charges being paid on the bond yesterday at 12:49 a.m.
Are you aware of that, PD Kim or ASG Walker?
I can't speak to that, but I know his wife is 1 and 2. So, I mean, they might want to tread lightly as far as bonding him out because she'll be on first appearance next for the same incident. So,
Yeah. I don't think we have them the same charges. You're not being charged twice for the same thing. And we're not bringing back the same 2 cases that you were here for yesterday. These are additional cases. Okay.
Yeah, I understand that. That's why I was trying to explain, because the 2 new charges from today were showing up on my bond yesterday as far as, okay, so I had 5 charges originally, and simple assault and the terroristic act was also on there last night.
They may have been on there, but they did
There was-
not have bonds. That's why they're on the calendar today.
It said $5,000 on it, and the bond went up, and the bail bondsman confirmed that as well. Second chance bail bonds confirmed that they added the 2 charges, and it was a $5,000 bond, which were paid in full.
I mean, can you all check on that for him? Anyone? ASG Walker, PD Kim, can anyone check
Just
on
ask
that?
them because you
so
gave-
again, this is concerning it. I think it's slightly confused because it is concerning the same victim and it is at the Dunkin' Donuts. However, as I pointed out earlier, this went on for a period of about 3 months. So this is a separate case with a separate warrant, with a separate incident date. There was a preset bond amount, which I think was $10,000 surety for the case that's on the counter today. I didn't request a $10,000 surety. So there was a preset bond amount by the magistrate, but I requested a reduced bond amount.
It was already paid.
Well, if it was already paid, I mean, I can't give him advice. If it was already paid, he would be released. That's all I can say.
Yeah, if the jail's good about confirming that.
Yeah,
So they did not
a lawyer
confirm.
did tell me that it was already in the system that all of them were paid.
If it was, you wouldn't be in front of the judge today, so. that is
They
correct.
might have been listed, the
Yeah.
charges might have been listed, but they
Bond
did
was
not
paid.
have bonds.
Right. So the charges were listed with the bond because there was a preset bond amount by the magistrate. But however, he did not have a first appearance on these charges that's in front of the court today.
So since
And I actually asked for a reduced bond amount because what was preset was $10,000.
I understand that. So since was paid and I did appear in front of court today, am I free to go home now?
No, someone will still have to bond you out. I've given you $2,500 surety bond. 1,000 on the simple assault and 1,500 on the terroristic threats. So there's another bond that you need to secure for the 2,500.
They're looking at it right now. There's some type of the two charges is from paid. She said, okay, they're saying they're paid.
Okay.
Everything was paid.
Judge Mincy, we're looking.
Yeah.
We just pulled it up now.
Okay,
See, yes, that is correct. It is paid.
Well, okay, well, the jail will
Okay.
process, I mean, the jail will
If they're
process.
paid,
it out.
I believe you, and we will, and then you'll be released. And so those two bonds on those two charges are 5,000 apiece or 5,000 together.
5,000 apiece, which was paid.
Yeah, with the for today was a $10,000 preset bond, so I mean, they already paid on it, it'll be released.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
you're good, you're good. It's already been paid, so.
All right. Thank you,
It
Deputy.
shouldn't have been, in front of you today, Judge.
Okay. Thank you.
So what we gonna put on here? Bond paid?
Bond paid. Yeah, bonded out.
All right.
Yeah, so you're good. Okay. Number 11.
Yeah, so who next? Number 11?
Come on,
Well, they're getting it straight over there.
Micaiah.
All right.
So,
This is 11. McKyer.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
This is 23 CR 008149E Rodney McKyer. Charged with 1 count of battery, family violence, and 2nd count of cruelty to children in 3rd degree. Pre-trial.
I got 16 adult. 2021 probation. On probation out of Clayton for ag assault. 2021 battery DV, cruelty to children conviction. 2020 possession of ammunition by a felon. 2017 possession of a weapon by a felon conviction. 2016 unlawful possession of a weapon by a felon. That's it.
Yes,
Right.
Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 2348 Bigwood Trail, where they spoke to the victim and Miss Raven Allen. She advised that her and the defendant are in a relationship and resided at their location. They were in some type of domestic disagreement that turned physical when he grabbed the victim by her arms, pushed her into bar stools, and threw her to the ground. The officer did observe scrapes to the knees and scrapes to the upper right side of her chest, as well as a minor bruise to the right eye, which looked swollen. We have made contact with the victim, Miss Allen. I believe that she may be on the counter today. However, we are asking for $1,500 surety to the 1 count of battery family violence. We're asking for $1,000 surety to the count of cruelty to children. We are asking for a stay away from the incident location, no contact with Miss Allen, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond. And of course, we do have concern because the defendant does have a 2022 aggravated assault and simple battery family violence conviction out of Clayton County that he's currently still on probation with.
All right. Do I need to sound for Miss Allen?
Yes, I think it says Raven A.
Raven A.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes,
Are
I'm
are you
here.
Raven Allen?
Yes, I'm here.
Do you wish
That's
to
me.
address the court today?
Yes,
All right, let me swear you in first. Raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
yes,
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you in fear of Mr. Rodney McKyer?
no,
Okay, do you want to have any further contact with Mr. McKyer?
I just don't want any violent contact.
Okay. Do you all reside together?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have
For
any
about a year
children?
now.
Okay,
No
do you have any
children.
children together?
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. May I ask
Go
a
ahead.
couple questions, please?
Yes.
Hi, Miss Allen. My name is Ian Walker. I'm the prosecutor handling the case today. How are you?
Hello, I'm okay. How you?
Miss Allen, the defendant is on probation out of Clayton County for aggravated assault. Are you involved in that case as well?
No, ma'am. I mean, no, sir. I'm sorry.
That was with a different victim?
Yes.
Okay. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. Go ahead, PD Kim or Mr.
Yes, my
Oh.
client is 39 years old, Your Honor. And I guess Miss Raven, my client, and another child, Elsie, they reside together. He's gainfully employed. He's working at UPS. He's been doing that for about 1.5 years. He also has an associate degree. even though he was born in Florida, he's been here in Georgia for more than 4 years. So, and he's been building up his family and career here. So he has ties to the community. He's, as you heard, Miss Raven wants to have a note for the violent contact, and my client wants to have contact with her as well. And we asked for signature on bond. If Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond through jail, he is recommended for signature on bond through pretrial level 2. So we would like to request for that. Thanks.
Your Honor, I know the victim has expressed her wishes, but just to emphasize, they had serious concerns. This defendant was just convicted of aggravated assault, simple battery, family violence, and cruelty to children. Charges very similar, if obviously worse than the charges that are before the court today. He received a 10-year sentence for that. He still has 9 years probation left, and this occurred less than 12 months later with what the victim states was a separate victim. So now I would describe it as a pattern. So we have concern for the victim's safety. So we are asking for a stay away, not only for her, but the minor child that was involved, and no contact, nothing further.
All right. We're going to order the $2,000 surety bond, which will be 1,500 on the battery, family violence, and 500 on the cruelty. With that $2,000 surety bond, I'm going to order a stay away from 2348 Dickwood. Is it Dickwood Trail?
It's Bigwood.
I'm sorry?
Bigwood, B-I-G-W.
Oh, B.
Yes.
Bigwood.
Mhm.
Bigwood Trail. I'm going to order so that we make sure there's a cooling down, and I'm concerned about the history. No further contact right now with the victim. Miss Allen. They need to request an amendment later. You all can do that with your attorney. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And if Mr. McKay has any guns in his possession at the present, he needs to turn those over to the sheriff's department immediately. And I think that'll be it for now.
Your Honor, can he have a one-time law enforcement officer escorted visit to retrieve his personal belongings?
Yes, I will allow one-time police escort back to the property to retrieve any personal belongings.
Thank you.
All right, that'll be it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Miss Allen.
Number 2, Cosby.
I ain't gonna pull it out my name.
This is 23 CR 008140F, Eric Cosby, charged with 1 count of theft by shoplifting. Free trial.
43 total. He's on probation for battery, burglary. I counted 3 shoplifting convictions in his history. Got a 2014 robbery conviction as well. I'll leave it at that.
Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor. The defendant does have an extensive history, and this actually will end up being a felony. Some of those convictions are out of state, I believe, in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. So we have to do a little bit of legwork to get a copy of those dispositions for us to transfer the case. That's the only reason why it's before you today. But in this case, he was arrested for shoplifting at the Family Dollar, located at 3310 Dogwood Drive. I believe he stole a blanket, lotion, common household item or goods, if you will. Nonetheless, the state is asking for a signature round through pretrial services. We are asking for an anti-theft course, a stay away from the Family Dollar located at 3310 Dogwood Drive in Hapeville. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. Additionally to those other shoplifting convictions on his record, I'm showing he has a probation violation from last year and a FTA in the years of 2014, 2015, and 2019.
Okay. PD Atai?
Yes, Your Honor. We have no objections to the state's request for a signature on bond through pretrial services or the anti-theft course. My client is a 48-year-old father of an infant child. He has recently found employment. It sounds like it's like daily construction work, but the job as well as his housing is insecure. He does qualify for public defender services and understands his obligation to return to court. So again, we are okay with the signature on bond through pretrial services and the anti-theft course. Would like him to be able to sign himself out of jail so that he can get back to work and his weekly housing situation.
All
And
right.
nothing further.
Pretrial, do you have an anti-theft class?
Oh, I don't know. With that history, I don't know. Will it work?
I didn't
This is
know if you all
ridiculous.
had that kind of
I'm not
class.
sure to answer your question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. His history is pretty extensive. It's 43 total. And he's still on probation. And I understand the state's recommendation. I just don't know. Where is he working with PD Atai?
Your Honor, I do believe he is maybe not homeless right now, but he rents a room on a weekly basis. And he, I guess in the area, has very recently in the last week or so found some possibility to work in construction on a daily basis. It sounds like it's, if there's anything for him to do, he found a place to do some sort of construction work. But again, he basically makes no income, has no housing. And I am, due to the nature of the allegations in the warrant that he took items because he was cold, a blanket, t-shirts, underwear, as the state also stated that, basic necessities.
And I'm sorry, not to cut you off, PDHI, and the state does understand and appreciate his history, but because there is a shortage of beds at the jail, and we know the jail is not the best place for individuals to be, that's the only reason why we're asking for a signature bond through pretrial services, because he does have a very concerning history. This probably will be a felony, but I understand that, he is charged with shoplifting, so that's why we ask for a signature bond through pretrial services.
All right. I will grant a $2,000 signature bond. That signature bond will be through the jail. I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. I'm going to order stay away from that 3310 Dogwood Drive with the Family Dollar. No drugs, alcohol, guns, or weapons while on bond. If he has any guns, he needs to turn them over to the sheriff's department immediately. And that's all I'll order for the moment.
Your Honor.
Huh?
Your Honor, permission to speak, please.
Mr. Cosby, I advise you to exercise your right to remain silent. The judge has already set your bond. You have a signature bond, so you don't need to say anything. If you have any questions, you can contact me later.
You're done. Number 6, Hopkins.
23 CR 008144E. Mr. Hopkins is charged with 1 count of battery, family violence, pretrial.
5 total. 2011 counterfeit private labels. Got assault, battery, family violence case. And before that was in the 90s. That's all. Level 3.
Okay. State.
I'm sorry, one second, Your Honor.
Mhm.
Okay, in this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 5705 Fulton Industrial Boulevard, which is a QT where they spoke to the victim, Miss Vanessa Hunter. I believe I've seen Miss Hunter on the line. She advised that her and the defendant were previously in a relationship. I believe they were in some type of argument. She was trying to exit or leave out of the vehicle. The defendant followed her. And he did punch her in the face, causing a gash and blood to run down the side of her nose. There was video footage of this altercation. The state is asking for a $2,000 surety bond, no contact with the victim. I don't think there'll be any objection, but we are asking for a stay away from that QT gas station on Cascade Road, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. Additionally, we'll be asking for a stay away from the victim's home, 4355 Cascade Road. At this time, we sound for the victim, Ms. Hunter.
Okay. Ms. Hunter.
Yes,
All right. Do you wish to address the court today?
yes, I would.
All right. Just turn on your, oh, I see your camera. You're at the top. Okay.
Yes.
Raise your right hand so I can swear you in. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And let me ask you 2 questions. Are you in fear of Mr. Hopkins?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Do you want to have any further contact with Mr. Hopkins?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, PD Cook.
Yes, Your Honor. My client has been in the Metro Atlanta area for 12 years. He's 54 years old. He's an independent contractor, truck driver. Although he would prefer contact, he has no problem staying away. As far as he can stay away from the QT as well, obviously. So we would ask for a signature bond. I think pretrial is I'm recommending signature bond level 3, and that's where we would like to be.
Okay. All right. I will order a $3,500 signature bond through pretrial level 3. I will order stay away from that QT, which was the incident location. No further contact with the victim, Ms. Hunter. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And 1-day anger awareness course through pretrial.
And Your Honor, we were also asking for a stay away from the victim's home. It's the 4355 Cascade Road address.
Oh, okay. And to stay away from the victim's home address as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Hunter, for your time.
Thank you.
All right.
I have a quick announcement. Can we go back to number 11, Mr. McKyer?
Uh-huh.
A question,
Yes.
I'd like to say.
Yes, with the bond, she's already in process. Well, she already started the process to bond me out. She got all my money to bond me out. But I don't want to get in trouble. If her name come back on the bond that's bonding me out and I got a so-called stay away order from her, how would that work?
Well, I think we've had that correct, Mr. Walker. In the past, I don't say you'll get in trouble. Certainly we don't like it. But I'm not for sure that we can do anything about it unless somebody tells me otherwise.
I'm not in a position to give him legal advice. I do know every county handles it differently. In Clayton County, where I used to work, that absolutely would be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Fulton County, I can't really speak to.
I know it is different. I have seen it happen. She'll just have to talk about it when she gets to court.
Oh, okay, all right.
But I don't know, and I can't give you advice either right offhand, but I don't know that there is, some
I think
law
the
that's
issue
gonna
lies,
lock.
and I don't remember what the ruling court was, but if it wasn't no contact, I think the issue arises if you bond somebody out, you're signing your name, saying that you are sure that this person is going to show up for all their court dates. Well, if there's a no contact,
You can't
there's
assure
there's
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
an obvious problem. So
yeah.
I'll let you discuss that. But is PD Kim your attorney, or was it?
Yes, that
I think
would
she would be
be,
the best person to speak with.
okay.
Yeah, you need to be very careful and tread very light. I will tell you that.
All right, all right,
Okay.
thank you.
Judge, I have a couple of announcements. For position number 3, waive their appearance.
Okay.
Number 4, bond has been paid.
Well, I thought we heard number 4.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one. That's the same guy. Okay. That's the same one. Yeah.
And then also number 12, they waive their appearance.
Okay. And that's all we have for you today.
So we have Craig and Smiler left.
Mm-hmm. All right, then that's it for you, Deputy, huh?
I still have to listen on the,
Oh, that's right. You're still gonna listen to us. Okay.
thank you.
All right, we'll start with position 3. Juanisha Craig, 23 CR 008141A. And she's charged with 1 count of cruelty to children, and 2nd count of battery, pre-trial.
Second arrest. Last was this year. Possession of marijuana, aggressive driving, and DUI.
All right.
Oh,
state.
that's open
So
in
in this-
Morgan County.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm there.
That was the DUI that's still open, Mr. Howard?
Yeah. Go with that.
Okay.
I have a client who waived his school.
Right. You're representing her, Mr. McLeod.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And then who's Robin Capers I see on?
She might be with position
mother.
20.
Who's a mother? Quenisha Craig's mother?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Well, hold for a second. I don't know that I'll be able to hear from you, but you can listen in. She's waived her appearance, so she's not going to be coming to this hearing. Okay? But you are free to listen in, ma'am.
Okay. In this case, Your Honor, law enforcement was
Can I make comment after?
Not necessarily unless you were a witness or victim in this incident. This is a bond hearing. I don't necessarily hear from parents at this point, but let me hear the facts and then I'll see if I'm able to do that, okay?
In this case, Your Honor, law enforcement was dispatched to Southwood Vista Apartments located at 4051 Southwood Circle here in Atlanta, where they met with the victim, Ms. Quenisha Craig. She advised that she was going up the stairs at the apartment complex where she resides with a male friend who was holding his child. As she was going up the stairs, the defendant was coming down the stairs, is my understanding, and the defendant bumped into her. Some type of verbal disagreement occurred, at which point the defendant started to argue with her and then punched her several times. The victim did sustain a cut and bruise to her right eye from the defendant's attack. The state is asking for 1 count of battery, signature bond through pretrial services, 1 count of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, a signature bond through pretrial services. We are asking for no contact with the victim, Ms. Quenisha Craig. We are also asking for no contact with the defendant. I'm sorry, with her friend that she was with, whose name is Mr. Josie, Josey. and no contact with his juvenile child, who has the initials of AJ. We're also requesting a 2-day anger awareness course, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond. I would ask for a stay away, but I believe that they perhaps live at the same location. But we would ask for a stay away, and that if the defendant sees the victim, that she goes the other way, if you will.
My
And of
concern
course, we
is,
would sign
did
for
you
the
say the
Ms. Craig.
victim is the same name as the defendant, or the defendant and the victim? I've
No,
got
Your Honor,
it
I
was
think
mixed
it
up.
may have been a cross arrest. This is what I'm guessing. My client is Konisha Poole, and she's referred to in the warrant that Mr. Walker is reading as the victim.
Oh,
No.
Konisha Poole.
Oh, no,
No,
that was,
no.
I have the victim
no,
as
not Poole.
Ashley Brown. Who's Ashley Brown?
I think she is the other person.
Okay, I think we need some clarity here.
Okay, so
okay,
Ashley
so
Brown is the other
yes,
person.
it's a dual arrest, Your Honor, yes.
Okay.
Konisha Craig is my client.
Okay.
And I'm sorry if I said Konisha Poole. I might have another client with that name.
Oh, okay.
But it's Konisha Craig. She is my client. I am okay with a signature bond, Your Honor, for my client through the jail. I believe the charge is cruelty to children. I think that bears a little bit more investigation as to what really happened. But I would definitely ask a signature bond through the jail for my client.
And Mr. Walker, you were saying that the victim is whom?
Well, they're cross.
They're cross victims, I think.
Oh, each other. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And so, but they live in the same complex on different floors?
I have no idea, Your Honor. I
Ms.
really
Capers, are you aware of that? To bring us any clarity to that?
Oh, I have their neighbors living right next to one another. One's in 933 and one's in 934. So
that concerns me.
No, ma'am, you're getting ready to move. I'm getting ready to move her out of there.
Okay. So she will be moving. All right, I'm
it's
gonna
really foolishness. It's about somebody bumping somebody going down the stairs. So
yes, okay.
It was a little vague to me as well. I couldn't understand what was going on.
Yeah.
It sounded like the wrong person got their shoes stepped on. I don't.
Yeah.
And also the charge that I see for my client, I don't know if there's another one, was cruelty to children.
There's a second
So
charge.
you know, when there's a battery and a child is involved, there's a cruelty to children charge that goes with it. It doesn't have to be.
I know, but
domestic
she didn't seem to be charged with battery based on what I saw. So I was a little confused.
I think she is.
Okay, it just wasn't on the paperwork that I received.
Oh yeah, she's charged with both.
She's charged with both. All right. I'm glad she's got some help from her mom involved here so that she can get some assistance. So I will go ahead and grant a $2,500 signature bond through and I will do that through the jail. Is Miss Craig working? Or she just has a small child?
I don't, Mom, you have to unmute.
Okay. Quenisha is not working due to her illness. So that's
Okay.
what's preventing her. She tried several attempts, but that's why I'm here to help her, and she's going to move in with me.
Okay. All right, that's great. Okay, so I'm going to do a $2,500 signature bond through the jail, and that will be $2,000 on the battery and $500 on the cruelty. I'm going to order that she have no further contact with the cross defendant, i.e. the victim in the case. And it may be hard for them to stay that far away, but the quicker you move out, the better, so that she doesn't get any charges of violating that bond with any contact. Because they're supposed to stay 200 yards away from each other. So I do understand that they are presently living in the same apartment building.
Can I comment on that, please?
Yes.
Okay, my daughter hasn't always been sick, but due to my son's illness, well, sudden death, she became sick with the mental illness. And those people bully her from day one because she don't respond and because the medication causes her to kind of be quiet or distance. And I've caught them in action. And no, I wasn't there, but because I've seen it and it's been going on, I like peace. We've gone through enough in our family. And so I don't say nothing. I never called the police because I feel like if you don't say nothing to them, they will leave you alone. But it never stopped with them. None of them work. They just stay over there smoking, drinking, outside, hanging out, and waiting to attack the next victim. And because she has an illness that she has no control over, they took advantage of her.
I understand. Well, I think what's important is that you're here to help her. And I think you're doing the right thing by moving her away. And I hope you can do that, because that's probably going to be the best decision, is to have her to reside with you or someone else until she can get a better place to live. And I'm sorry to hear about her illness. But if she can move as quickly as possible, then we should not have, hopefully, any situations where there's alleged to be violations of this no contact bond.
And Your Honor, I just want to point out to the court that today she was that's the reason why she had to waive appearance. She is in the infirmary. Yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to let her go ahead and get out, and Mom, you go ahead and get her so that you can keep her safe and, find some more resources for her. And I know it's very difficult on you. And how old is this child in the case? Or is it a baby?
No, he was 22.
No, I think they're talking about the child that was mentioned, the cruelty to children. I don't know how old this child was.
Oh, she's like 3.
3.
I think
okay, she's
the neighbor. She's like 3.
No, well, okay. I'm totally confused here. So the cruelty would be for the for the neighbor's child who was 3. Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna let her out, Mom. If you can go down and get her, when she's released, keep her safe with you, then that should resolve it. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And make sure that she stays away from there. Okay. All right. I don't think there's anything else on this matter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
And I don't know how much I will be seeing you in the next few days. I'm actually going to be on vacation. You know, Mr. Jordan has a way of calling me. So
he does. We want you to pick up wherever you are on vacation, okay?
I told him I don't know, but if I have time, I will. But I can't guarantee.
I think I have a feeling I know where you're going. I wish I were going with you.
I'm actually not going to Jamaica this time. I decided to
not going to Jamaica. Okay.
Vacation. I'm going to Seattle, and I'm going to drive over to British Columbia for Christmas.
Maybe the British Columbia part, not the Seattle. I think you're going to snow country.
Yes. Well, it's cold up there. I just wanted to go somewhere cold for a change.
Oh, no. Enjoy Seattle, I guess, then. All right. Have a good holiday. I have not been
to Seattle before, or British Columbia, so I just...
Oh, okay. Well, at least that'll be nice. Yeah. Well, don't bring any snow back with you, okay?
I won't.
All right. Have a good holiday.
Quick question for you, Ms. McLeod, because I don't want to bother you during your holidays. So happy holidays. When will you be returning? Because I don't want to...
I am returning the 31st. Well, now I know Mr. Jordan to call me. He always calls me. He asks me, and I told him he can call me, and if I'm available,
Right.
It's going to be. I don't have an agenda. I'm just going to rest.
Okay, so we can still call you for the conflicts.
You can call me if I'm available.
If she's not taking skiing lessons, if she's not taking skiing lessons, she'll be available.
Right. It's a 3-hour difference. And I don't have an agenda. I'm not like have a whole lot of running around. It's mostly to relax.
Okay. Well, she says the 31st. We'll see. We'll try to give her a few days, huh?
Yes.
Enjoy yourself.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Holidays.
All right.
Thank you. Same to
And then
you.
who's the last one we have? Is it Smiler? That's
Yes,
12?
Your Honor.
Okay. All right, 23 CR 008150Y, Alexandra Smiler, charged with one count of obstruction, second count of giving false name. Pretrial.
Second arrest,
Okay.
2018 possession of cocaine conviction out of Forsyth. I think she
Okay.
got a Forsyth hold too.
Ah. All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant was pulled over for a traffic offense. Upon making contact with the defendant, she gave a false name. Her real identity was able to be determined. It came back that she had a warrant. Upon questioning her a second time, she continued with the false identity. Eventually, she was arrested on the outstanding warrant, obstruction, and giving false name. The state is requesting a signature bond through the jail to be released to her hold. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
No
All right.
objection, Your Honor.
All right, PD Kim, I will grant her a 2,500 signature bond through the jail. We'll do 2,000 on the obstruction and 500 on the false name. And release her to her hold. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I don't know. We don't have a victim per se, do we? Or
No, Your Honor. No
no
big
further,
deal.
no other conditions.
No.
Mm-hmm. And that should be it for that one.
I think that's the calendar.
Is that it?
I
Okay.
believe so.
Your Honor, Keith Cook, could
Yes.
we go back just a moment? I should have brought this up earlier on Andre Hopkins. I don't know where he is on the calendar. He was a few folks back.
Position 6.
Okay. I wanted to be clear on what everybody, there's a stay away from the victim's address. I wanted to know if Mr. Walker has that address so I can be clear to him.
Yeah, I think he said it was
Yes,
Cascade.
I have it, Mr. Cook. It's 4355 Cascade Road, Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
So it's the QT and the Cascade Road, correct?
Yes, correct.
Now, if he has any belonging, I don't know that he does. If he has any belongings,
No, there's no objection to a one-time escort.
can we get that then for the record?
Okay.
One-time visit with a law enforcement officer.
Yes, I'll add that in.
I
Thank
got
you.
it.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Uh-huh.
May I, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
Okay, once again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is January the 2nd, 2024. Position number 1 is being reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 2 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through the jail. 3, reset further notice with a total $2,500 SOB through the jail. 4 is reset further notice as the bond has been paid. 5 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through the jail. 6, reset further notice with a $3,500 SOB through pretrial. 7 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,500 good bond. 8, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through the jail. 9 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $8,000 good bond. 10, reset to the SAP calendar with a $1,500 good bond. 11, SAP calendar with a total $2,000 good bond. And 12 is being reset further notice with a total $2,500 SOB through the jail. Are there any questions, comments, or otherwise?
You said 11 was 2,000?
11 was a $2,000 total good bond.
Mm-hmm.
1,500 on the battery and 500 on the cruelty to children.
Yeah,
Are there any
that's
others?
it.
Okay, I think that's it.
All right. Sounds good. See
right.
everybody. Let's see. I think I have one more day, then I'm off.
Okay.
So I'll
Well,
see
I'll
you all
see
soon.
everybody when I see everybody. How about that?
I know, right? All right, everybody take care.
All right, bye-bye, you
All
guys.
right, bye-bye.